I think the whole Wednesday, May 13th situation is not just about one kid making one terrible choice. Nah, it feels bigger than that. To me, this is about adults building a little house out of lies, then acting shocked when Rocco walks right through the front door with a match in his hand. And yeah, I could be wrong, but that is the energy I'm getting here. Lulu blaming Britt right out the gate makes sense emotionally, even if it's not clean or fair. Lulu is a mother first in this moment, not some calm person sitting there with a legal pad weighing evidence. She sees Rocco in trouble. She sees a gun. She sees Cullum. She sees the trigger being pulled. And then her brain lands on Britt. Like, boom, there it is. Britt becomes the face of everything that went wrong. And I get it. I really do. If I were Lulu, I'd probably be yelling too. Not cute yelling either. Ugly yelling. The kind where your voice cracks and you say stuff you half mean and half don't. Lulu is basically saying, if my son had never tried to help you, none of this would have happened. That is a brutal accusation, but it has weight. Because Rocco did not wake up one morning and decide, hey, let me go aim at Cullum and turn my life upside down. Something pushed him there. People pushed him there. Secrets pushed him there. But here's where I feel the story gets more interesting. Britt begging Lulu for forgiveness is not just Britt trying to dodge blame. In my opinion, Britt knows she is connected to this mess, even if she didn't want the mess. That's an important difference. Not wanting something to happen does not erase the chain reaction you helped create. Life doesn't care that much about your intention once the damage is out there. That's a hard lesson, but General Hospital loves that kind of lesson. Good intentions, bad outcomes, everybody crying in a hallway somewhere. Now, Dante, man, Dante is about to be in a nasty emotional corner. And honestly, this might be the part that hits hardest for me. Because Dante is not just a cop here. He is Rocco's father. He's Lulu's person in this tangled up family pain. He is also someone who believes in law, order, procedure, all that stuff. So what happens when the person who might need consequences is your own kid? That is not a normal dad is mad scene. That's a gut punch. I don't even think Dante's conversation with Nathan is really a conversation. It sounds more like Dante unloading. And I can't blame him. Nathan knowing the secret, helping Rocco leave the scene, keeping Dante in the dark. Yeah, that's a problem. A big one. Nathan might say he was trying to protect Dante, trying to help his superior, trying to keep the family from falling apart. But Dante doesn't need that kind of help. Not now. Maybe never. There's a kind of disrespect in protecting someone by hiding the truth from them. People call it love, but sometimes it's just control, wearing a nicer shirt. Dante screaming that he doesn't need Nathan's kindness. I feel that because Dante needed honesty. He needed the chance to make his own call before everyone else made it for him. And then there's this weird cloud around Nathan himself. Dante being suspicious of Nathan's identity adds another layer that feels off. Like, who exactly is Dante dealing with here? Is Nathan really being protective? Or is there something else under the hood? I'm not saying I know. This is just my interpretation. But when a character holds secrets, moves people away from crime scenes, and somehow stays calm enough to justify it, I start side-eyeing. Like, hold up, buddy. What are you really doing? Rocco, meanwhile, is the kid standing in the middle of all these grown folks' choices. Yes, he pulled the trigger. Yes, that matters. I'm not trying to baby him out of responsibility, but I also think the show is setting up the idea that Rocco is becoming reactive, maybe reckless, maybe dangerous in that teenage I can fix it myself way. And that scares me more than the first incident because now we're hearing he could go after Sidwell. Sidwell, of all people, that is not some random guy you mouth off to in a parking lot. Sidwell is dangerous, mean, calculated, and the type of man who makes bad decisions look organized. So if Rocco targets him, then no, I don't buy that it's random. Somebody gets in his ear, somebody scares him, or Rocco feels cornered enough to do something stupid again. And that's where Dante's choice gets darker. Does he turn his son in before things get worse? Or does he protect him and risk Rocco committing another crime? That's the kind of parenting nightmare nobody wants. Sometimes love means saving your child from consequences. Sometimes love means letting consequences hit before the world hits harder. That's ugly, but it's real. Then Portia and Isaiah bring in another kind of panic. Isaiah being suspected in a hit and run is serious, and Portia worrying over him tells me this isn't just hospital drama wallpaper. Isaiah needing help after talking with Portia could mean a lawyer, sure, but it could also mean something deeper, something that puts Portia in a dangerous position. Portia has a habit of trying to manage fires with her bare hands and then acting surprised when she gets burned. I like Portia, but come on now. She does this. If Isaiah needs legal help, that's one thing. But if he needs Portia to cover, hide, adjust, explain, or bend something, that's where the lesson comes in. When someone is desperate, they might ask you for something that sounds small. Just one favor. Just one phone call. Just one quiet little move. But that one move can tie your name to their disaster. And Portia, with her career and family already walking on thin ice half the time, cannot afford another mess. Speaking of family, Trina getting a new success should be a good thing. I want that for her. Trina deserves a moment where she just wins, where she isn't carrying everybody else's drama like a tote bag full of bricks. Kai celebrating with her sounds sweet, maybe even peaceful, but General Hospital does not let people sip champagne and smile for too long. Nope. There is always a text, a phone call, somebody bursting through a door like the Kool-Aid man of bad news. I feel like Trina's happiness might get interrupted by something involving Portia or Curtis, or maybe Kai's own choices. And that's the thing with Young Love in Port Charles. It's never just romance. It's loyalty tests. It's secrets. It's what did you do before I trusted you? Kai may be good for Trina, but if there's something hidden behind his charm, it's going to come out at the worst possible second. It always does. Now, Brooklyn, her confession about her crime feels like the kind of scene where the room goes quiet. Brooklyn is not always honest at the right time, but when guilt finally catches her, it catches hard. And Tracy stepping in, that is classic Tracy. She doesn't just help, she takes over. She hires the best lawyer in secret. She schemes. She calculates. She might even think about taking the fall herself. That sounds noble, but also very Tracy. Because Tracy's love can be fierce and messed up at the same time. She protects her people, but sometimes protection becomes another form of damage. If she takes blame for Brooklyn, what does Brooklyn learn? That family can erase consequences? That power can clean up guilt? I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think Brooklyn needs to face at least part of this herself, or the confession means nothing. And finally, Drew, the finger movement is small, but in soap language, that is a whole siren going off. A finger twitch can mean hope, danger, escape, memory, revenge, all of it. Drew showing signs of recovery should be a big turning point. But Nina returning right on time could shut that window fast. If Drew is trying to escape and Nina walks in, then the question becomes, does she panic? Does she stop him? Does she pretend she didn't see enough? Nina is complicated. I don't see her as just one thing. She can be loving, selfish, scared, loyal, and shady all in the same 5 minutes. That's why she works as a character. But if Drew's recovery threatens her position or exposes something, she may make the wrong call while convincing herself it's the only call. So for me, Wednesday's episode feels like a warning. Secrets do not stay soft. They harden. They become evidence, resentment, jail time, broken trust. Lulu blames Britt. Dante blames Nathan. Portia worries over Isaiah. Tracy tries to shield Brooklyn. And Nina may block Drew's chance at freedom. Different stories. Same disease. Everybody wants to protect somebody. And somehow, everybody keeps making it worse.